when you started learning the language, so like you mentioned it was the challenge that was appealing to you. Okay, so then you compare that to French. So I'm assuming French was also a challenge because like you, I also studied French in high school and junior high and elementary as well. So French
How's
is
your
also
French today?
challenging. Horrible.
Yeah,
Literally the
okay.
worst you could possibly imagine. I wouldn't even list it as knowing any of the language
Yeah,
despite having taken like 6, 7, whatever years of it.
yeah.
So okay, so you mentioned you took French, but you didn't like it. But then you take Chinese and you like the challenge. So what's different between your French experience and your Chinese experience? Like, why didn't you fall in love with learning French at the time?
That's a great question, and I don't think I have a very clear-cut answer, but um, for me, French was an assigned thing that I needed to, it was a task that needed to be completed, and at a time in my life where I didn't necessarily care about grades, and so I was not intrinsically interested in learning it. I didn't see any opportunities to use it. I didn't have any French friends I could practice it with, so it was essentially a very atomic experience where you go into a classroom, struggle to learn this thing that is basically for me at that time of my life valuable only in the confines of that classroom, and I did not put any value on experiences like that at the time. With Chinese, I can't say why for exactly, but I made myself want to do it, or rather, like I nobody told me you need to study this. It was I took a class, found it interesting, and then was self motivated to continue. And I think that's really the main difference. I can't tell anyone why they should learn this thing or learn that thing, but I can say for sure that if you don't want to do it, it's going to be a huge uphill battle. And if you find a reason, whatever that reason is, whether it's there's numerous reasons you might want to learn Chinese or anything else, but if you want to do it, that's the biggest hurdle in my mind. Fighting against something you don't want to learn. I mean, learning's hard. You're constantly trying to push yourself to do things that you don't know how to do and memorize things and practice things, and it's challenging. So if you love it, it'll be way easier. And for me, for French, it was I didn't love it, and so it was much more challenging. Even though French is considered by many to be an easier language to learn for an English speaker.